Hello, everybody, and welcome to the One Piece live-action LOVEcast, the only One Piece podcast where I forgot to come up with a bit beforehand, but that's okay.
The only One Piece podcast where the host forgot to come up with a bit beforehand.
That's us, baby! Hell yeah! The only one.
The only one.
Anyway, as always, hello, everybody. My name is Ed. My pronouns are he, him, and I guess that's about it.
You don't want to tell the people about your wonderful channel that you do?
I run this channel. It's a gaming channel. If you guys want to watch Let's Plays, on top of listening to what we have to say about One Piece, please check out our playlists and our videos, and you might, I don't know, find something that you might enjoy. And as always, I am joined by my lovely co-host, Tide. Please take it away.
Hi, my name is Tamara. I also go by Tide, and I use he and she pronouns interchangeably, so whatever you're feeling. And I'm a voice actor. If this is your first time here, I can be heard in games like Warframe, Wargroove, other war games like Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, which is coming out on the 12th of December, just saying. As well as some other upcoming stuff. I was just in the last Nikkei event. I played another character in Nikkei. And that was super fun to work on. So if you like my work, you can hear me there. And of course, we are joined today by a special guest.
A very special guest, I might say.
Hi, my name is Bailey, she, her pronouns, and I am a professional makeup artist with a focus in special effects.
Incredible.
So cool.
I'm really,
so cool.
really excited to have you here for the Fishmen. Like...
I specifically, when Ed asked me to be on the podcast, I specifically wanted one of the Fishman episodes because I could go on and on about how fucking good the Fishman makeup is.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's so exciting. I cannot wait to hear all of your thoughts.
Same here. I'm really hyped to talk about this episode. As always, a quick update. I know that we said last episode that the strike is over, and I guess it technically is, but it's still like in the process of like it could be ratified. There's still some kind of fucky stuff going on with AI permissions. Everybody fucking hates AI. It's a very scummy thing to do to like replace people with like 3D scans of them and have that going on.
What? Large companies would never do that.
What? Making things easier for less money?
Wow.
To go into their pockets?
And fuck over a lot of other people?
That's unheard of. Who would do that?
So weird. And the thing that worries me most, to not to like, elongate this much more, but the thing that worries me most is that it'll affect actors, and then it'll trickle down to everyone else who works in production as well. So it's affecting more than just them. It's gonna fuck over a lot of people.
Trickle down fuck ups.
Exactly.
Trickle down economics might not be real, but that sure is.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they can get that shit figured out, because it's fucking scary. Yeah. But without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about episode 7 of the Netflix One Piece, right?
Surely this will have only good things.
Only good things, that's true. And we're already starting off with a great thing, which is we're looking for Nami, because remember at the end of the last episode she left. She went with
she did.
She went with Arlong and
did she really leave if she was part of Arlong's crew?
I guess that's true.
Along?
You're right.
Dun, dun, dun.
You're absolutely correct about that. We got Usopp sailing the ship, but with Buggy's help.
Yeah, Buggy's there. We got more Buggy.
Yeah.
I'm delighted with this choice. I mean, we've talked about it a little before, but like just having him be annoying on the ship is fantastic.
For this whole, sorry, Bailey. I'm just gonna say really quick. For this whole this whole like fucking season 1 of live action Netflix, Buggy fuckers won.
Yeah,
they really
did.
This
truly was their greatest victory. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I've always been a Buggy hater, and I think they did such a good job with how fucking annoying he is, which was like great for characterization purposes, but also just made him worse for me. Where I was just like, damn it, he's doing too good of a job of being annoying.
I mean, he nailed the character.
Yeah.
What else can you say?
Yes, he did. He did
And
a
a lot of other
fantastic
people
job.
wish they were nailing that character.
That's true. That's true. We know a few, huh, Bailey?
Yes, we
Yeah.
do. More than a few.
Yeah, I've mentioned it before, but I live with one.
Incredible.
Yeah, they now have a subscription to a clown makeup service.
What?
There's a clown makeup
And
service?
there's a subscription for it?
Yeah.
What does that even entail?
Oh my
So
god.
they send you really good quality prosthetic noses, or not like prosthetic noses, but like, yeah, really good noses with like, the last one that they got had a squeaker in it.
No way! That rules.
Fucking incredible. Holy
Oh
shit.
my god.
But my roommate loves Buggy, so that was the only reason that they is to cosplay Buggy.
The dedication.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
very
respect.
funny.
Respect. Okay,
But yeah,
so
we have more Buggy. He's being a shit to Usopp, and then Zoro.
yeah, he's quote unquote helping.
Yeah, he's helping. He's guiding. It's fine.
Yeah.
We get Zoro being just done with his bullshit, threatened to throw his head into the sea. Just that's very good.
What I love is that like the whole entire time Buggy's talking shit up until like Zoro like grabs him and like threatens to like drown him. And it's like no, just a little guy. I'm just my birthday.
Just a little guy.
And then he's instantly cooperative, and then he starts singing a lewd shanty about Nami.
Yeah. Still a great scene though.
Yeah, very funny.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Oh man. So right after like that great start, we pan over to Luffy, who's just really worried about Nami. You know, doesn't know what doesn't really know what to think at this point, but at least, you know, Sanji is there helping him, you know, stay calm, being like, hey, we're gonna figure this out, just you know, chill, take your time.
Yeah, Sanji's at least better at talking, it seems, than anybody on the ship has been yet.
Oh, especially like this like really reminded me of that one the episode that starts off the Baratie arc, where Luffy is like super quiet and everyone is like too like, I guess, like scared or awkward to like go talk to him. Oh man, that moment really could have used Sanji.
Yeah, if that had been Sanji had been there already, like he would have been so much better.
Yeah,
like Zoro just walking up and just like, "What are you? You doing okay? Cool. Do you want to talk about it? No. Okay, bye." But like Sanji seems to have kind of an understanding of like how to interact with people, which I think is really solidified later in the episode. So it's cool to see that come up multiple times in this episode.
They really kind of showed how good of a mediator Sanji is, and like just how well he can adjust and interact with pretty much anyone.
He's like, his communication is pretty good, honestly, which is really funny considering I spent like half of the last episode being like Garp and Zeph, not yet.
The old man Yowie
I have the
has
old
to wait.
man Yowie in my head. But like the way he talks to Zeph is so like coated in like so much like of what they don't actually mean. It's like they're saying very nice things, but with this aggressive sort of attitude.
It's like it shows like they have such a special relationship compared to how he talks to everyone else.
But he's so careful talking to Luffy, being like, yeah, it's not really about that, is it? Like it's kind of but then Zoro comes in and it's all ruined because Zoro is here. And I do have confirmation from Greg, by the way, that if you have missed it before, Greg Werner, one of the consultants on the show, played Mary. He brought up the fact that they are very aggressive here already, which doesn't happen in the source material. But it's a relationship dynamic that people are expecting from them.
Yeah.
Just to be like aggressive right off the bat. So I'm not surprised by this.
But Zoro shows up and he's basically like, no, we should just, you know, let her go. She already made her choice, whatever. She was never one of us. But like immediately Sanji is like, first of all, you don't know her. We don't know what she's going through. Just like, woman, respect her, Sanji. Right off the bat.
Women respect your Sanji. Immediately is a misogynist. Anyway.
Oh, Sanji. What a guy.
I respect women. Women's rights to not say what they mean ever. And all women are like this.
There could be a whole podcast just dedicated to Sanji and his character.
Yeah. I've had to explain to several men that Sanji's chivalry is very not chivalrous at all, actually. But you know how people don't listen to that.
And like it blows their minds. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's like, what? But I don't hit women, so like, obviously it's a good thing, right? It's like, okay, whatever.
Well, I care about them. I don't have to actually listen to what they're saying. I will say though, like, real quick about Sanji before we move on.
Sure.
The way that like Taz Skylar has kind of like characterized Sanji in his own way, I think is a very positive depiction.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a welcome departure from how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, like he really took the source material and improved on it.
Yeah, and like even in the source material, like he's not like that weird until like much later. So it's more charming. It comes across really charming and like, oh, he's kind of cute though. Here,
yeah.
Rather than like, oh, he is just a failure of a man. Okay. Like, you really don't get the loser aspect from him as Taz is playing him, which is nice.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's really funny how a little creative change can really just shape a character.
Yeah. Okay, so then after this precious little moment, we are treated with a baby Nami flashback.
Baby Nami is so cute in the live action.
She's so adorable.
I just want to pinch her cheeks.
Yeah, her and her sister are just so cute. I love that
super cute.
Nojiko is Australian, I think. I think. Yeah.
It's awesome.
I love that the way that they kind of incorporated everything into like a more concise form. Like they have them painting their tattoos on each other, which is like, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
And the windmills being like a thing with orange peels because they do, reduce the windmill aspect later, or the little pinwheel aspect rather. Not windmill. I kind of like that it's all shown in like one little like brief little flashback, and then we move forward to it's just Nami spacing out at a poker game.
Yeah.
Even with how like short the backstory is for Nami, it really did kind of show how much like the three of them, like Belmir, Nojiko, and Nami, like care for each other. It really showed their relationship really well, despite how short it was.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, I think it carried a lot of meaning in a very short amount of time, which is really what you need. Like this clearly had some cuts taken to it. I feel like.
Yes. Especially with it being the last 2 episodes, they really had to like.
They kind of crammed it together. Yeah. I'm betting that they had like at least 3 episodes on just this arc, and they were like, well, how can we make it any shorter? So it is kind of a shame that we don't see more of that. But yeah, I understand. Creative things have to be done. But then we get into the poker scene with the fishmen.
Yeah, and she's finessing the fuck out of her fishmen crewmates.
Yeah, so, she beat him.
As she should.
Beat him with an all-in bet with 4 queens, as she deserves.
Hell yeah.
The queen herself.
Yeah, exactly. This doesn't say anything about her at all.
No.
And then right after that, we get to see that Arlong Park is this kind of, sort of like a theme park.
Yeah.
It's got like carnival games and stuff.
I kind of really love it. I really love what they did with Arlong Park.
Yeah.
I think it makes it so much more silly and like fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much clear for those that know from the Sabaody arc what it's supposed to be a reference to. And I don't want to go too into detail about that, but it is clearly a reference to something else that is a, like, kind of theme park, it looks like. And I really appreciate that sort of like, because I doubt that he had come up with like the entire details about this when he was writing Arlong Park.
Yeah.
But, you know, now knowing like the lore going forward, they can look back at the beginning and make the edits to be like, oh, well, now that we have the chance to, here's how we're going to change it. Like,
Yeah. They get to actually backtrack and like make things like have little nods here and there.
Yeah, and like it makes more sense in hindsight, right? So like they can incorporate a lot of the stuff that hadn't been even conceptualized and show that to the viewer to kind of expand the world. We've kind of talked about that here before, but just it bears repeating.
Yeah.
So, you know, later down the line, people can be like, hey, wait, they did that in season 1, or they had like a reference to that in season 1.
Yeah, exactly. Like they just referenced, like in the last episode, they had a reference to another arc that's upcoming, which was just like, oh my God. I was just loving the how the world felt real because of these choices.
Yeah, exactly.
It also really showed how much love was put into this show. Like, you know, obviously Oda had a heavy hand, but like everyone else involved, you can tell, really was having the time of their lives, really loved the source material, and it shows. It absolutely shows.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
That's honestly one of my favorite parts about like watching the show, that you can tell that they had like so much love for the source material.
Yeah, it's kind of like how they did with like the Sonic movies, where you can tell that the people involved in that really do love the source material.
Yeah, and we're not just saying that because Sonic 3 was the release was announced earlier today.
Can't wait for the Sonic cast.
Oh my God, I can't wait to watch it. I'm gonna talk to Connor, see if he wants to do a Sonic cast with like you, me, and Connor.
I'd be down.
Okay, back to the One Piece though. Okay, so anyway, we get to see the inside of the main, I guess like tower. I don't really know what to call it. Like the main building of Arlong Park, where they have Nami's room, which isn't really much of a room. It's more of like a place that's just like coded in maps, you know, like
it looks
sea
like a
charts.
dungeon.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't realize it was supposed to be like higher up in the building.
Yeah, me neither. I thought it was like the first floor or something.
Same here.
Yeah.
Especially because like the outside building looks like it has windows.
Yeah.
So I was like, where is this place if it's not down in the basement?
Yeah, I thought it was the basement.
Yeah, for some reason, like they even say, okay, let's go upstairs to the room or whatever, like a few times throughout the episode. And I don't know how, like the first time that I watched the episode, that shit completely flew over my head.
Yeah,
and then on my second rewatch I started realizing, oh no, this is like all the way at the top, basically. I don't know how it went over my head. I don't know how I missed that.
Either they like blocked out all the windows or something and just like made it look like a dungeon on purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like a dungeon, right? So maybe they just like blocked off the windows so she couldn't jump out or something.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have the visible chains. Clearly she was struggling a little bit, like, you know. It's not the best of circumstances, clearly.
Yeah. And then that leads into another baby Nami flashback, and it shows that she grew up poor with very, very little money, to the point that she ended up stealing a book about sea charts and maps and all that other good shit that she really, really enjoys.
To point out just a really dumb fact that I know, she's looking at a map of the Oikog Kingdom, which is where she was found as a baby. Which is just really interesting. So she was probably like, like Mom told me about this place. Like, oh, that's interesting. So yeah, that's just a little thing that I noticed on one of my many rewatches.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
So it turns out though that the book that she was looking at was stolen. And Baelmer didn't take kindly to that. Baelmer's her adoptive mom. And it's like, you should not be doing that. And, it's not good to steal. But Nami is like, but we don't have any money, and I wanted to read this book and all that stuff.
We don't believe in libraries because
communism
is bad.
It's thinking the same thing. It's like, no libraries? You can't even borrow the book? Like,
I mean, it's clearly like a really small village. So I feel like even if they wanted to go to like an island with a better like system, that would still be like a hell of a trip for especially like a poor mother already. Like, it's probably not happening.
And then we lead to, after that, we go to a flashback within a flashback, and that's where Baelmer, tells Nami how she found her and Nojiko, like after that one battle where she almost died, and they were like under some rubble, and she decided, no, I'm gonna take in these girls as my daughters, and because of that, I have to live. I have to keep on going.
I just love Baelmer's wig. I think they did such a fantastic job because of how difficult like wigs are with shaved sides can be. And all of the wigs are handmade.
Yes.
What?
Which is insane.
That is insane.
I guarantee that there was more money spent on the wig budget than the makeup budget, despite all of the prosthetics.
Oh my God.
I mean, they had, from what I understand, they had one wig maker, and a lot of the wigs are lace front. And lace fronts are very difficult and time consuming, and there's not a lot of people who can do them because of that. Mm-hmm. So they cost a lot of money.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it absolutely paid off because the wigs look fantastic. But I don't know why I just was so enthralled by Baelmer's in particular. Like, her wig just was so good.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the shaved sides are hard to pull off on a wig, especially when it is handmade. So
yeah,
I am just like blown away by the talent on display there. That was really just them flexing, I think.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Same with like, there's a couple, when I was looking more into the like makeup and hair team, there were a couple wigs that I had no idea that was a wig. Like, oh my God, it was, oh my God, who was it who had a wig that shocked me earlier? Sorry, now I'm looking.
Do you remember what it looked?
It was Captain Morgan. Captain Morgan's hair was a wig.
What?
I didn't even notice.
I know. Like, that's like, when I was looking into it, I was like, what do you mean his hair is a wig? That's insane. Like, they were just so well done. And then it makes me think, like, all right, well, who in the Straw Hats was wearing a wig, if any? Or, like, who just in general was wearing a wig that you would not ever be able to tell was a wig?
God, that's crazy.
I love the Sanji wig. That is just fantastic. I think they did a great job with it. It looks very natural.
Mm-hmm. I think my only complaint is because they did so many like handmade facial hair as well, I feel like it would have been definitely doable to do his little eyebrow curl, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done something if they really wanted to push it, but I also feel like they were butting up against like the realism of it.
Yeah, they kind of had to make a choice between like manga accurate versus realism, and they went more in the realism direction, which worked in their favor for the fishmen in particular. So I can understand why they made that decision.
Yeah, and they weren't doing like a nose prosthetic for Usopp either. Like,
which that was a good decision.
That was a good decision.
Very good one at that.
I do feel like the eyebrow would have been a little bit more distinctive, especially considering like how silly the world of One Piece gets.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I almost hope that like they find a way to work that in. Like, I just want to see Sanji shaving his eyebrow.
Oh my God.
season 2 comes along and they just have the eyebrow and don't mention it.
Yeah, they just don't ever bring it up.
Yeah.
I know. I'm hoping that with more seasons they get a chance to do more fun makeup things in terms of like non-prosthetics. Like once they get more into characters like I don't know, it's like Big Mom, or like once they get more into that area where they can have a little bit more fun with like the beauty makeup as well.
Yeah.
I am very excited.
Yeah, I'm trying to like think of. I'm sorry, I'm quiet. I was trying to think of like anything that would come up that like
my first thought was like Perona or like Jewelry Bonnie or something where they could really have fun with it.
That would be fun. I would really like to see
God.
that.
I would love to see live action Perona. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind if we ever come to that. God, I love Perona so much.
Again, I don't want to give too much away, but I want to see what they would do with Law. I'm just.
Oh yeah, that's my boy.
Right.
So good.
Oh. But anyway.
Getting ahead of ourselves.
Anyway,
we're
back.
at Arlong. We're at the top of the tower of Arlong Park right now. And we're done with the flashbacks for now. Nami's talking to Arlong about the deal that they made.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think this is the first mention of the deal.
That's true. I kind of made my notes some kind of vague for this. I don't know why, but yeah, she just mentioned, say, what about our deal? But Arlong is like, look, right now, all that I care about is talking about my plans to take over the East Blue. You know, make that whole area, you know, fill it with fishmen. The time for humans is over. Fishmen rise up is basically what he's saying.
I feel like this whole scene was just a demonstration of power over Nami.
Yeah.
Because she's not chained anymore, right? But she has these other metaphorical chains that kind of keep her tied here. So like her deal, and like at first, so she hands over the map, right? And he like makes her give it to him directly.
Yeah.
Which, like, she's the, like, map maker on the crew. She should probably have it, but no.
Yeah. That show of power.
Yeah, just, like, making her do that. And then immediately after, hey, you have to go to Cocoa Village to collect because they're not paying.
Yeah. But really quick, Arlong does the laugh after he talks about his plans.
I do have that in my notes.
He does.
I loved that. I felt like it just blended really well. Just like it's like easing the normies into the weird camp of One Piece. Like this is normal, okay?
It's like this is only the normal. Like this is the very like bottom of the barrel of the weird laughs, and it's just gonna keep getting weirder and weirder after this.
I cannot wait for more of the laughs to start coming in.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I can't wait.
Real quick, this is a tangent. What's your favorite One Piece laugh?
My favorite One Piece laugh, I think, it might be Blackbeard's laugh, honestly.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
I know that it's not all that friggin'
it's not flashy, but it is iconic.
Yeah, exactly. I like that one, and who was and I think Kaido's laugh too.
Kaido's laugh sounds like starting a car.
I know.
Mine is still Perona's hodo all the way.
That's
that was one of mine too.
Oh my god.
I'm also a big fan of the like she.
Oh yeah, that's Saul's, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh. At one point, doesn't like Luffy also like get his own laugh kind of sort of?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does she.
I love it. So cute.
He should do that. He should do that in the live action next season.
I think he
Please,
should.
Iñaki, do this for us.
Please, Iñaki, por favor.
Well, now he's got to do it, right?
Yeah, for sure. But let's see. So he does the laugh, but whatever. For Arlong, and then we cut back to Garp and he's pulling up the Baratier.
Yeah.
He's still
Oh, Garp.
Yeah, he's still on Luffy's trail. He
I was
just won't-
surprised by this. I was really like, I knew there had to be something extra, but I was surprised to see the Baratier again.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
fully agree with that.
This whole scene was really cool. It
was really cool.
It was unexpected, and you were like, "Yeah, actually, this fits. I like this." Of course, the old man Yowie.
Yeah, not quite. We're getting
not
there.
yet.
But we're almost there. God, you're so excited for that.
Listen,
Who is it? Okay.
So he's the Baratier. He's asking for Seth, because he needs to talk to Seth about Luffy. And immediately Seth is like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know any Luffys. Whatever. May I get you a nice juicy steak?
Yeah, I got a bunch of steaks. So it would be a shame if they, went bad. So I really need the help. If you
Zeph, a real homie.
From day
you
one.
gotta call up the homies to eat your meat.
True.
Ed can confirm.
If you don't put your homie's meat in your mouth, are you really tight like that?
Yeah, you're not.
You're not.
Exactly.
I also really love this scene. Is just Helmeppo's little side remark that like, oh, my dad used to come here all the time. He didn't take me though.
Yeah.
God, Helmeppo is like so fucking
He's
good in the
so
live
pathetic.
action.
I love. He's pathetic, but he has like street smarts, and I kind of
He
like
has
that.
like, yeah, like the actor gives him so much charm that is like, oh, it's excellent.
Yeah, I'm like,
And
not
honestly-
mad about it.
Honestly, the like friendship that blossoms between like Kobe and Helmeppo is so cute.
I'm rooting for them.
I really like how it's portrayed in the live action more than the source material.
Agreed.
At least for now, we're gonna see where things go. Yeah. But oh God, please read the manga, dear listener, if you haven't yet. But after this little interaction where Garp agrees to eat Seth's meat, we go back to the village. What's going on? What's going on at the village? Well, you see,
Upside down, bouncing. They walk into a village and it's all messed up.
yeah, everything's fucked up. It's like, what happened here? Well, the fisherman pirates attacked, and they see that the villagers are pulling their money together, as tribute for Arlong, because every now and then they have to give him like a certain amount of money, or else he's gonna come and fuck up the whole village.
Which is interesting. It's interesting that happened. Like the first incident that we saw, well, we haven't seen it yet, but that is going to happen, in which this house gets flipped. Right, that was way in the past. So, like, did they just like decide to keep it?
Left it there.
We had mentioned they probably cut a lot of things for time. That might have been one of those things that they're like, just leave it in. It's fine. Like
For dramatic effect.
I think maybe they because in the source material you go to that other village that has been completely turned upside down, just like to prove a point. And I think it was supposed to kind of be a reference to that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were planning to do the other village, but like, yeah, in the original, there was some time spent in that other place. So I think this was a compromise for that.
Yeah, just to clarify for those who don't know, in the Lake Tide said in source material, there is a village that Arlong had already previously destroyed because they couldn't pay their tribute. Just an example, he literally turned the whole entire village upside down.
Yeah.
like physically upside down.
Yeah, because they're fishmen and they're really strong, so they can just like, bloop.
No, they can just do that.
Yeah, it probably was a nod because they're like, we're not going to have time to, do that whole part of it. So, it
But
works.
I do like the implication that they just kept it like, okay, we can't forget how awful it was.
Yeah, and never forget.
Never forget. A second fishman has hit the village.
Oh no!
Oh my god! That was fucking genius.
Oh no.
We're American. It's fine.
It's fine.
We're American and we were alive during that time. It's fine.
It's fine.
We were there. It's fine.
We're all Americans. Go Yosei. Anyway, so yeah, you know, like you guys were saying earlier, the whole thing about Nami, like her physical chains are off, but she still has those mental chains, like still tying her to Arlong, and as a show of that, Arlong sends her to her old village to collect the money for him, and of course everybody in the village hates Nami. Everyone just sees her as a traitor, because she joined up with Arlong, and here we finally get to see grown up Nojiko. And, oh my god, she's so beautiful.
She's so beautiful.
So pretty.
Yeah. And I love what they did with her hair. Her hair looks so good.
It, like, the color that they chose works so well with her skin tone. It's just perfect.
It's the perfect shade of blue.
God, I love that blue.
I also like that literally everybody else in the village has this really, like, they know there's, like, no color at all except for Nojiko's blue hair. So it does very much look like the anime classroom. Oh, I wonder who the
exactly what I was thinking.
Like,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, oh gee, I wonder who the story fixates on.
That's so funny. But we see live action Genso. And we have like another. There's a lot of flashbacks in this episode, just back to back to back. And we get to see how Genso got his scars and how the village became fucked up. And there's one answer to both of those things, and it's fishmen. The fishmen did it.
Yeah,
But,
and we clearly see that, like, right before the fishmen attack, like, Nami's trying to give her little book back that she stole.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, uses the same words that Nami in the future just used on Genzo, which is painful. And it seems like they had, like, a pretty friendly relationship, like a nice uncle kind of like scolding her a little bit, but like gently. So contrasted with how he's kind of like wary of her in the future, it was like, oh no.
Damn.
I was a little taken aback that the villagers did not know.
They did not know.
They didn't know her reasons or her motivations. Because in the source material they do.
Yeah, in the source material everybody knew.
Yeah,
so they just like let her do her thing.
Drama.
Yeah,
that's true.
It makes sense. So I've defended this choice before. Like this, it feels more isolating to Nami, and I feel like that's really what they wanted to drive home, is that she isolated herself for the good of everybody else. And she put all those walls up so she didn't let anybody in. She never had any friends growing up because she just put all these walls up. So it's just, I feel like, more of a contrast with this setup.
Yeah. And it,
I'm also a fan of it.
Yeah, and in its own way, like, it makes sense because she didn't want anybody else that she cares about to get hurt by the fishmen. Or anything like that. So then, after that quick little flashback to see what happened to the town and how, like, Genso got cut up by Kurobi, then got all his scars. We're back in present time. Nami sees Luffy and the rest of the crew just standing right there, just conveniently.
She didn't notice the only other people wearing color.
Yeah, wearing color in the whole village. So she sees them, obviously gets mad at them. It's like tells them, go away, I don't need any of you. I'm fine where I am. But Luffy, like, immediately, like, he's very serious this whole episode.
He's very like and I don't mean to, like, you know, it's not like that. But it's very intimate in how they, like, are connecting in this scene. Yeah. And I really enjoyed this little back and forth because, like, clearly we know Nami isn't like that, but, like, Luffy is trying so hard to find something to connect reassure her, right? But he doesn't know how to do that with just words.
It really shows how much he cares about his crew. Like the whole show and just the source material in general, he talks about how much he loves his crew, but this was really like telling without words how much he loves his crew. Like what he would do for them.
Yeah, and he's like, when he comes into the village, I think he says something like, oh, but Arlong did this. And he's really just like you can feel how angry he is, just like looking around at what he's done and being like I have to do something because like Nami is in danger if she continues to work for this guy.
Yeah.
And like this whole scene like kind of gives us a like, wow, okay, maybe she wasn't who she said she was. And like, you know, as soon as she walks off, the rest of the crew, like Zoro and Usopp, immediately like, all right, never mind. Like,
yeah, well, she says she's done, so let's get the hell out of here.
Taking her at face value and just being like, all right, looking for any excuse to get on with it. Like we have Sanji, woman defender number 1, who's actually defending women this time. You know, trying to reason about this, and Luffy, who just wants his friend back.
Yeah, Sanji was like, yeah, there's definitely something else going on, and Luffy can feel something similar. There's like something is up, that's for sure. So he goes over to ask Genso about Nojiko because he saw her, you know, storming off earlier after, you know, like
after
she just
Nami came in,
after Nami came in. And almost like while asking about Nojiko, he almost reveals that he's a pirate.
Thank you for the save, Zoro.
Yeah.
Like right after Zoro steps in and be like, Hunter, he's a pirate hunter. Luffy like looks off to the side, and I'm just like in my head picturing like the face that he makes in the source material when he's lying, which is like eyes to the side, doing a little like pout, like
Luffy just like, I'm not a pirate hunter.
Yeah.
Zoro, how could you say that? Like, you know that's immediately what he did.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
He like didn't understand it was for the good. He was just like, but I'm not.
I'm a pirate.
Yeah.
So yeah, they get the information on where Nojiko is, and they decide to take off and maybe try and go reason with her, or at least get some information. As they are not greeted friendly, as Usopp complains all the way. I love that Usopp sees her coming out with a gun and immediately ducks behind Zoro.
Yeah.
Not the man who can deflect bullets, by the way.
No, Zoro, it's fine. He's the biggest one. It's fine.
Yeah.
Protect him.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. He just almost died last arc. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. So Luffy tries to talk to Nojiko about Nami, and Nojiko's not in the mood to talk about Nami at all. Sanji is like, what if I make you something? What if I make you some food? Would that make you want to talk? Maybe.
Sanji's
Probably.
like, let me rizz you up, please, please,
Yeah.
please.
But honestly, I completely understand. If there was like a dude who was like, I just want to talk, but I'll make you the best meal of your life, I'd just be like, you know what?
Yeah.
I get free food out of it. Like, just go for it.
Yeah, your emo
got
man
nothing to
can come
lose.
in, I guess.
Yeah, what I love is that, like, immediately after Sanji offers to cook, Usopp is like, yeah, he's like the best cook, like, and that he's blue. He has like the best
immediately,
food.
like, just jumping in and being like, yeah, he's great. And whereas Zoro is like, he's a waiter.
He's a waiter.
Usopp is everyone's hype man.
Yeah. I love that about live action Usopp so much that, like, as soon as like there's like some kind of like bit going on, he joins in immediately. He just like keeps it going.
He's
I
so
love that.
quick about it too. He just like, he's always jumping in with these like not one-liners, but like just adding on to the bit, just like an actual friend would do. And I was just like, yeah, that's my bestie Usopp.
Yeah.
Like so much like with Buggy, I am also an Usopp hater, but just also again like with Buggy, the live action Usopp kind of endeared me to him a lot more, like, because he was just played so well and charming.
We were actually talking about that in when we were going over like one of his episodes of like source material Usopp like takes some getting used to, because I personally was also like on the same boat, boat. I didn't start liking Usopp until after the time skip,
which is like pretty typical for a lot of people. I've heard.
Yeah.
Is like, you know, post time skip, he's a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah.
I feel like I think I started liking him around Enies Lobby because I really liked him in Enies Lobby. But it's hard to sell him to anybody watching for the first time or reading for the first time. They just like don't connect, or they do connect. It's one or the other.
but live action Usopp is it's great. I love live action.
It's similar to the changes made to Sanji. It's just a little easier to like them as people.
Yes, 100% yes. Meanwhile, Zoro's perfect, no notes.
Great job.
Don't need to change anything.
So the Sanji risk works. Nojiko invites him inside, but Sanji also has to make dessert.
Speaking of dessert.
Yeah. Okay, take it away. Go ahead.
Speaking of dessert, we cut to a very sensual dinner that Garth is enjoying. And I do mean sensual. Yeah, he's just like, it's just like the close shots of his fucking steak.
The romantic lighting.
And then being put into his mouth and just, like really loudly, and then cutting over to like Kobe and Amepa looking very uncomfortable.
Which is hilarious because obviously Zeph's facial hair has been fantastic this whole time, but it wasn't until this episode that I really got a good look at it because of how much they were like showing like close-ups of him. And it was so funny. Like, God, with like all of the him and Garp scenes, it was like, okay, I see what's going on here.
Yeah, it's so special.
The old man Yaoi agenda.
It wins again.
I mean, like, just the way that they are, like, so, like, friendly kind of with each other. Like, the little back and forth, like, oh, I didn't know you had the pleasure of dining on a marine ship. And he's like, only in the break. I think he, like, throws on a wink. I may have been misremembering that. But, like, it's just like, hello?
Tide has his fucking Yaoi goggles on while watching.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, my God.
It's like, I don't know how to explain it otherwise. Like, the shots used, the, like, uncomfortable subordinates, like, Garp is clearly, like, kind of enchanted by this, even though it's very plain to see what he's doing, like, and Zeph is just like, oh no, I have to seduce this Marine, and, like, meanwhile in the back room, Patty's like, no, you don't gotta do that.
No, I have to.
No, I have to.
God. Like, going back to Zeph's mustache and, like, beard, like, just thinking about how much that costs to make, I want to put into perspective how much custom lace front or, like, custom lace pieces are. A regular, like, run-of-the-mill mustache and beard set, like, just something you'd see on anyone, is, like, average $300.
Oh, wow.
So imagining how expensive Zeph's facial hair was sometimes makes me dizzy. And like really enforces like a lot of this budget is going to the wigs and like the facial pieces, because holy shit, it was done so well.
It's so beautiful. Like, it should feel cartoonish.
Yes.
At some point, your suspension of disbelief just goes away.
Yeah, like, they did such a good job with his looking real up until it gets to, like, the braid. And then it's like, okay, this is absolutely cartoonish. The way that it moves, how thick it is, like, this, there's no way. And that's, like, the charm of it.
Yeah. I love it. It's just it's one of those things that it like eases you into the weird nature of the One Piece world.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I loved this scene. I felt like it was really interesting to see Zeph just like clearly buying time, but like
Yeah.
Garp just totally being okay with it when he gets something out of it.
He gets free steak out of it.
Free steak and a date.
Yeah. Nice.
Steak and date.
I also love Bogart's little comment to Kobe and Hamappa, like, you should see him at a curry house.
Oh my god.
That's when I knew that Garp was just like me for real.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I'll go insane over a curry house. Ripped curry house, by the way. I heard
Rip
it.
Curry House. So depressing. One of the most tragic parts of like 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
It was 2020 when it closed.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
I remember specifically. I remember specifically because after I moved to California, like we were supposed to go there, like once I got settled in, and then we got hit. Like then the fucking pandemic started, and then Curry House closed, and I was like, "Fuck!" Right after
What's
I
worse?
moved.
Yeah, it's
What's
tragic.
worse, the pandemic or Curry House closing?
Curry House, no question. God.
Rip to a legend.
Well, anyway, back to the episode.
Yeah, back to the episode. We're throwing a rager at Arlong Park.
Oh yeah, we got the Fishman hip hop going on.
Yeah, got the
Yeah.
Fishman hip hop. We have the remix of the theme song. They seem to do every 2 scenes. I do like it. I wish they had another song sometimes.
Agreed.
But yeah, I love this little fire trick that Chu does.
Oh yeah, his little party trick.
Yeah,
Right?
he's just like, all right, everybody, let's gather around for my little flamethrower.
Pew pew pew.
Yeah.
But we do get some really nice close-ups on those prosthetics, by the way, if you
Yeah.
want a
Dude.
space to talk about your
Oh yeah,
your
the floor is all
expertise.
yours.
The drooling of how good these prosthetics were, because I remember when One Piece live action was announced, that was my biggest worry. Is I was like, they are either going to like nail the Fishmen or they are going to completely fuck up. And
I think they nailed these
they
fishmen.
nailed
Hey.
it. Oh my god, they didn't go as crazy as how they are in the manga, but that works to its benefit because like no matter what material you would use, it would be heavy, but with like the realism aspect, they chose to go with silicone. So especially if they would have made like the huge chin that Arlong has, like it just would sag and it would look so weird and be so heavy. And I think they pushed back all the right things about his face. And just all of the Fishman's face in general. Like they did such a good job at making it look like slightly humanoid, but also giving like a very like, these people don't really see the sun all that often. They have like skin texture and like just the way that they're like, it was so beautifully done. And to my knowledge, it was one person who did all of the designing. And I can double check. But yeah, so there was only one person who did the prosthetics and creature design. His name is Jaco Snyman. I believe he has so Dreamsmith is his like shop that he does. But it's insane just to have one person who did all of the design heads for,
Yeah.
And
it's
to nail
very,
it.
yeah, it's very cohesive. Like, I feel like all the Fishmen kind of like, if I didn't know anything about One Piece and I saw this, I would recognize that they're all kind of like different, but they're different in the same way. So they have that sort of cohesive thing binding them together as a group, right?
Yeah. It also, another benefit of silicone, because it's a lot more skin-like, it tints the color as opposed to just making like Arlong like full-on lavender, which I think also works really well. It makes, because like, it's, they're fish, they're translucent. It just works so good. It works in their favor. It's just, the prosthetics were absolutely fucking incredible. And like, every time I watch the last couple episodes, I'm just in awe. And I feel like I notice some new aspect of some new Fishman design that is like, that was really fucking cool. And I'm so glad that they did that. And just the designs were amazing.
Yeah, I loved that they incorporated a lot of the background characters that were actually in Arlong Park that were just never acknowledged. And they used that to base all of their prosthetics on. And like, even if they weren't like fully fleshed out characters or anything, he'd take like one like parrotfish guy in the background and there's a guy with like a little parrotfish like headpiece in the forefront. And it's like, it's so cool how they adapted it.
Yeah, it honestly it blows my mind how many like fishmen they got, because I thought it was gonna be just like a few, but like the shot of when they're having the party, there's so fucking many of them. Oh my god, that was incredible. That was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, like, you can definitely see it, and, like, they have a couple wide shots, and, like, that's a crew. That's a full crew of a bunch of fishmen.
And honestly, for how much work, like, went into how many fishmen there were, how cohesive they all looked, like, considering all of the work that goes into that, it was a relatively small crew, which is insane what they were able to pull off. And granted, you know, they had a Netflix budget, which helped a lot, but it's still insane what they were able to put off and how good they made it look, and how honestly quite like terrifying some of them are, especially if you were to be face to face with like Hachi or Arlong or something. That would be really fucking freaky. Like, they're weird looking.
I'm still sad that we missed on live action Hachi.
I know. There was one fishman who was credited as Hachi. I'm not sure if you were aware of this, Ed. But yeah, the one that Nami beat at poker was credited as Hachi.
What?
Yeah,
yes.
with the like yellow and purple like hair and the red lines down his face. He was credited as Hachi.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So like technically he was there. I think it probably was hard to get the arms to work.
Yeah.
Yes. Especially, that's one downside with silicone, is because of how heavy it is. Like, there's only so much you can really do. It's also very sweaty, very hot, which also I think is why like a lot of the detail is in the faces and like the chest pieces as opposed to anything else. With you know, a couple exceptions, just because like it's a lot to have to be in that much like silicone. So having like really heavy like arm pieces just would not work.
Yeah, and unless they wanted to change like the texture and how that looked on just the arms, that might have looked weird.
Yeah, especially with a different like lighter material. Like, silicone is just so like unique,
right?
That you can't really you can't really make another material look exactly like silicone. So it would be very obvious.
And I think it would have been hard to sell on a secondary character like Hachi, unfortunately, I think. Like if it had been a main character, you know, like if they do season 2, we're coming up on Chopper. You know, that's going to be a big concern, is like, how do they do that? But
or even like Frankie down the line, if they get to that, like,
the whole silicone thing reminds me of that one bid from I Think You Should Leave, where it's like, I got too much fucking shit on me.
I have not seen I Think You Can
Damn
Leave.
It. Well,
I'm so sorry.
I've seen part of it. I've seen a lot of episodes of it.
Where he's wearing the old man costume. Anyway, if you know, you know, dear listeners, that's for you. If you know, that's it. That's it. I just needed to get that off. That's it.
Someone out there will understand.
Exactly. As long as one person knows what the fuck I'm talking about, that's all that I need. Anyway, go ahead. Keep it going.
It's just like, yeah. I mean, I could just ramble on about how fantastic the prosthetics were in terms of so many different pieces, like sculpting, skin texture, any of the like little bits that they did, like the little bone bits that they did with Arlong's nose. Everything was just so well done. And like it honestly, before even seeing the show, just seeing how good the fishmen looked, I was like, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. I was a little sad seeing people complain about it. I was like, no, these look incredible. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I think people were disappointed that it wasn't like super close to the manga design, which
I get, but
yeah.
I mean,
I like it. I like it better for this show, right? In the context of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also just in terms of like how that would work and look in a live action setting, you can absolutely make like some of the batshit designs and use, you know, like a foam latex or something that's really light and totally usable, but it is going to look fake. Like it is going to look like,
right,
you know, it's going to look like they're wearing a mask, and it's not going to move quite the same just because it's not as close to the skin. And, you know, there's just a lot of things that wouldn't work. And I think that's one of the things that absolutely would not work the same. So scaling it down is such a smarter choice. Like,
yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I can understand where they came from with that. And, you know, especially with something like One Piece, it would be fun to experiment and go crazy. But at the same time, you know, you kind of have to think, well, one, what would work out logistically? Two, what would look good? And three, you know, on both of those things, what is going to make people enjoy this design while, you know, when interpreting it into live action?
Right. And like, that's just something. And I feel like people were looking for things to complain about because, you know, some people were burned before. People,
yes.
But I feel like that, honestly, when I saw the Fishman designs the first time, I was actually really encouraged because it meant that they cared. They like clearly did scale it back. They weren't trying to just like, okay, we'll just, you know, put it in foam and just spray it and put it on them. Like I like the adaptation rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell that they really, even if like, you know, whoever sculpted them, which again I believe was just one fucking person, it's insane. Like you can tell that whoever was on the sculpting team or whoever one person sculpted them, even if they didn't, you know, necessarily know One Piece, they studied references like crazy and really tried to make things work. Like I mean, I'm still just shocked. Like every time I look at Arlong's nose, like it has a little bit of wobble because that's natural, but like the structure they had to build inside of that to make it like stand straight and not like go crazy every time he talks, like that's a whole other logistical nightmare that they had to figure out. Like that, you know, probably took forever and different materials to test. Like plus all of the eyebrows are hand like, you know, they're hand threaded on.
Oh my god.
So they're put onto the prosthetic.
Punched. Yeah, which is a whole, it kind of goes hand in hand with the wig making where it's super tedious. You literally have to go one hair at a time.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it's I've done like I've done that with like silicone masks and stuff before, and like it's worth it because it looks really good, but holy shit, is it annoying. I bet. It took like a whole day just to do one mask, like one like prosthetic last time I did it. And you know, I'm sure it's faster when you're more skilled, but it's you can tell they put a lot of love and care and dedication into these makeups, and like, you know, despite scaling back, they probably put more work into this than they would have making it 1-to-1.
Yeah, I love it. I love how it came out. I think it is so true to the original design while giving a new take on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's well, if we're ready to move on to the next bit.
Yeah.
Which is you know, in the middle of the party, Nami comes up to Arlong. She's talking about Cocoa Village because she already talked about everyone's prosthetics and how good they are.
Yeah, I love that part where they took 30 minutes to talk about the prosthetics.
Arlong, I really love your nose.
No. I do genuinely want to thank you for your expertise. I think it added a lot to this. So I don't care if we took too long. You know, there's other podcasts.
Fuck it.
But
yeah.
I if I had details, I could keep going.
But I loved it. But yeah, so Nami comes up and is like, oh, I have your money or whatever. And Arlong is clearly kind of taken aback by this. And he's like, oh, you've been holding out on me. And she's like, no, it's different. I stole it and didn't give it to you.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
But yeah, he's like, yeah, sure, get it to me by dawn, whatever.
Oh wait! I'm sorry. We actually skipped a part because
The
before
Nesumi
that,
part.
yeah, before that, she's just like, we need to talk, and they're still like outside at the party.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. Yeah.
yeah.
My notes were a little unclear on this part. So
It's
sorry.
happened to me too. It's happened to me way more than it happened to you. Don't even worry about it.
But yeah, Nesumi comes up.
Yeah.
Marine guy with little mouse ears. Don't worry about it.
Little mouse guy, little mouse ears, little
I love
whiskers.
it's not addressed.
I know. And like it's one thing when it's all of the fishmen and they're all like that, but like
Especially
him.
I mean,
got this
we saw
fucking Mickey
Garp with
Mouse
this
guy.
little doggy hat. You know, it's,
That's true.
maybe all Marines are like this.
Yeah.
I also love that like attention to detail where they're like, you know what? Yeah, we are gonna give this guy a little rat face and ears. And
Yeah.
like,
Hell yeah.
Little rat
good.
bastard.
Oh,
literally.
You thought you were used to everything. Well, here.
Nope. And his name is literally Rat, so
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
fun with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before Nami can talk to Arlong about Cocoa Village, Nesumi comes in and interrupts, and it's like, I would like more money, please. Basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
But before we can find out what's going on with that, we're back at Nojiko's place.
Hi, Nojiko, I still love you.
Oh my god, Teen,
Tucks
you're so
hair
beautiful.
behind ear.
Yeah, like, hi.
Nojiko, I am free and thirsty. Please come hang out with me and
Please rate
on
me
Thursday.
back.
Yeah. So we have another flashback. And this time we get to see what happened to Belmare. How come Belmare is not around? And it was back in the 7 years ago or something like that, when Arlong was going to every house personally to collect tribute, and everybody had to pay. I think it was like 100,000 berries.
Yeah, 100,000 per adult.
100,000 per adult. Oh my god.
And
Yeah.
it was 50,000 per kid.
And 50,000 per kid. Yeah. So Belmare gives him the money, and right as he's about to leave, Arlong notices that there's 3 plates on the table, dear listener. Can you believe that? And it's like, well, who else is living here? Because you got the plates on the table. What's up with that? Pay up.
Yeah.
Which I still, even after rewatching it, like, have issue with, because what if she just had people over for lunch?
Yeah, I was
Right.
thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, they even try and play it off in the source material. Like, they had Genzo and the town doctor, who's not featured in this film,
Yeah.
so they're not appearing in this TV show, came and we were like, yeah, we're just coming to dinner. But no, no defense in this one. She doesn't even try. She's like, all right, guess the jig is up.
Yeah, I guess you got me. I can't lie. Really, just really quick as a quick aside thing. I love how in the source material in the manga, the town doctor is also like the town tattoo artist.
Oh yeah,
Right?
he's very good at that.
Yeah.
He's good with the
Okay.
needle.
Yeah.
Come on down to tattoos and I don't know, vaccinations.
I trust him.
You can get 2 for 1.
Get your flu shot and a sick tat.
Yeah. Call that a flash flu sale? I don't know.
There you go.
I'm trying to make it work. It's not happening tonight.
It's close enough.
Your TAF flu shot. I don't know. I tried. Anyway. But yeah, Belmare can't tell a lie, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you found me out. I have 2 daughters. Take the money. I'm paying for them. It's like, well, what about you? I don't have the money to pay for myself. So that means, unfortunately, that Arlong is gonna have to take her out. Of existence, I mean.
What do you mean?
So,
she went to the dungeon forever. I saw the 4 kids.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she went to the dungeon forever, and they just forgot to get her out.
She's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I only watched the 4 kids version of this in the anime.
Oh God.
Yeah. Where Arlong very viciously points at
Points
her.
at her
Yeah.
with not a gun. And don't worry about it. It's not a
Yeah.
gun. It's his hand, which is very large in this scene for some reason.
Yeah, he's
Oh my
pointing at her.
God. 4 kids. Holy shit. I thought it was ridiculous enough that Sanji had a lollipop, but like
Nope.
really large hand. That's fucking hilarious.
Oh, you should have seen the scene where Helmeppo is like threatening Kobe and the 4 kids stuff.
They changed his gun to like this weird hammer gadget.
Yeah, it's like a spring hammer gadget thing. It's like, don't move, because if you move, I'm gonna bop him really hard in the head.
Because, kids don't know that guns exist.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
You
And
must
also
keep them sheltered.
and also all the marine guns got turned into super soakers.
Yeah, and
Oh my God.
Smoker doesn't smoke anything. He just has smoke coming out of his forever open mouth.
Yeah, his mouth is always open, and they changed his name to Chaser.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I like changing his name is one thing, but trying to imagine like doing a whole fucking scene where his mouth is just slightly
It's
open
just
the whole
slightly
time.
open.
It's always open. And he
it's
talks
really
like
funny.
that too.
That's so bizarre. Oh my God. 4 Kids was fucking wild.
A wild
Yeah.
time, but they did give us the "Cook It Up" song, which I will thank
Oh
them for.
my God.
That one is a classic from the Logtown one. If you ever look it up, look up the Sanji cooking song.
Oh my God.
Oh, the Sanji cooking song. Jesus. All right. Anyway, what happened? Oh yeah,
yes.
he killed
You killed
Belmare.
Belmare.
Yeah.
He killed
Like-
Belmare.
The amount of fucking trauma that like Nojiko and Nami now have to like deal with, like imagine standing there, it's already a tense situation, and then this dude just pulls out a gun and shoots your mom right in the head and she dies instantly.
Yeah, right in
Like,
front of you.
Yeah.
right in front of you in your childhood home. Like that is so traumatizing.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's so much. And like you can tell like when they cut back to her adults, like, the flash forward, she's like getting choked up thinking about it. And props to her actress. This is incredible take on this scene where she's just like trying to get this story out. And it's clearly still really affecting her. This is
Yeah.
something that lives with her forever.
Yeah.
So the reason why, so now it's explained the reason why Nojiko hates Nami is because in her eyes she is working for their mother's killer.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I mean, that would really
sure seem
fuck
that
you
way.
up. Yeah, that would really
Yeah.
mess you up.
Yeah. So after this, Luffy, he needs to step out to think, and obviously like Zoro follows. It's like, hey, you good? But this time they actually do talk.
Yeah, they
Yep.
actually managed to talk. Good
Yeah.
for them. It's like, I
It's-
can't let Sanji have all the good conversations with the captain.
Yeah. So they actually have like a little conversation this time, and Zoro still thinks that Nami is she's far gone, but Luffy, like, he insists that he needs to, like, he keeps hearing stories about Nami from other people.
Yeah, and
He
I
wants to-
loved that they put this in here because
Yeah.
that was my issue with like, oh no, but like Luffy shouldn't be hearing this. But then they threw them that line, and I'm like, all is forgiven.
Yeah, so Luffy insists that he needs to hear the story from Nami's perspective. He wants to see what's going on from her side of things. So then, back at Arlong Park, we got Arlong renegotiating the deal with Nezumi because he claims that it's getting harder and harder to clean up to cover for the fishmen, because that's how they were able to take over the whole island, because they've been bribing Nezumi the whole entire time. And he says that it's getting harder to cover up for Arlong now. He needs a little bit more money. So Arlong reluctantly agrees. He gives him I think double of what he usually gets.
No, he turned him down the first time and then goes back and is like, oh, I'll pay him the money if he, ambushes Nami and takes her gold, her treasure.
Yeah, as a result of how this conversation plays out, because he makes kind of an embarrassing social faux pas.
Well, that's what I was gonna lead into. Like first he gives him.
Yeah, at first he gives him double his usual cut.
Sure.
Yes,
double.
He does.
Okay.
Yeah, and Nezumi, it's like you said, Nezumi mentioned something like, "Oh, so you are smart," and it's like, "What do you mean I am smart? Are you trying to say that fishmen aren't smart?" And then he goes into this whole entire he goes off about how first of all, motherfucker, you need to know your goddamn place. Because we fishmen are smarter, stronger, faster. We do everything better than you. There's no reason why you stupid, stinking humans should rule over the planet when it's obviously us, the fishmen, who are better at literally everything.
And Nezumi's like, I have a fishman who works with us.
Yeah. Listen, my best friend is a fishman.
He says, I can use all of your fishman slurs.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Fishman slurs.
Oh. But
yeah, Arlong, he mentions Jinbei in passing, the warlord of the sea, Jinbei. This is the first mention that we do in the canonical source material yet of Jinbei, which I was really glad they kept in. But we get this violent reaction from Arlong, which is also really good.
Yeah, Nezumi says something like, no, I'm with you 100%, big bro. Fucking, I respect fishmen and all that shit. Even one of the warlords is a fishman. Society respects fishmen, and yeah, that's what.
Yeah, you have all the same rights as every other person. Of the normal people, you might say.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the same rights as the poorest people that are out there, so you have the same rights as people.
Same rights.
Duh.
It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. So after that, Arlong is basically ready to fucking tear Nezumi's throat out. So Nezumi gives back the extra money that he got plus a little more, so he ends up with about I want to say about 3/4 of what his normal should have been. Yeah. And then he leaves with his tail between his legs, and that's when Nami finally brings up the fact, hey, speaking of money, I have the money, the money from our agreement that we made when I was a kid.
The agreement about the money for the agreement.
The money, yeah, the money, Arlong's money, the money for Arlong. And it's like, what, the 100 million berry? It's like, yes, I have it. So that means I can leave your crew with just a clean split, right? Right? I can do that. Now, right?
Right.
And Arlong is like, I guess. So go get it. Go get my money. Then
you have
until sunrise.
Okay, go call it back.
Yeah. So Nami leaves, and as soon as she leaves, this motherfucker is like, he turns to Kurobi. He's like, okay, go get Nezumi. Go tell him to get back in here. We're gonna do something really, really funny. At least for us. Not for Nami, but for us.
We gotta film it and put it on Snail Tube.
Oh my god.
Epic prank.
Oh no.
Epic prank on my loser crewmate.
Yeah, my loser human crewmate.
Loser human crewmate thinks she can get out of my service. No, she can't.
So then, right after that, we go back to Kobe and Helmeppo, who are going out for shots.
Good for them.
God, this whole scene just made me so happy.
Yeah,
their friendship, their relationship, blossoming in this scene is so good. Both of the actors have just such good chemistry. They bounce off each other so well.
Yeah.
It was just such a sweet scene. I loved it.
I love how Meppo kind of egging him on. It was yeah, he's sweating very clearly.
You got something to say, Kobe?
Yeah,
you want to
Kobe?
say something to me? Are you hiding something, Kobe? Anything that you need to get off your chest, Kobe?
Kobe just buckles immediately under the pressure.
Yep.
He orders 2 shots and then after that tells him, Garp and Luffy are related. They're family.
And then he's like, what? He's like blindsided, and then he's like, wait, no, actually this makes sense.
Yeah.
God.
So he even like makes a little side comment, like slightly comparing Helmeppo to Luffy, because they're both, like they have like a parental figure who was like a higher up in the Marines.
Yeah. And Helmeppo does not care for this at all. He's like, no.
He's still butthurt about his dad.
Yeah. It's really interesting to see Helmeppo kind of fleshed out as a character. I feel like he's very two-dimensional sometimes. So this kind of gives him a little bit more to work with.
Yeah. So then the bartender hears the name Luffy, and it's like, oh, hey, I heard that a guy named Luffy was going to... Well, I mean, I can tell you if you pay me, but...
Rip to this guy. Zeph is gonna murder him.
I know. Yeah. That's literally what I thought. I was like, once Zeph gets a hold of this, like, this man's never getting a job ever again.
Yeah, no. He's gonna have to use a peg leg when Zeph's done with him.
Damn.
Then we're back to Zeph and Garp, so go ahead, take it away, please.
I will, gladly. Just in the way that Zeph's about to take... Anyway. So Zeph is keeping Garp entertained with his delicious stories of his hunting of the wild boars of Jaya.
Jaya, that's the name to remember.
Yeah.
Your listeners.
I love that they brought that up. And I love that because we do see in his kitchen there is like an illustration on the wall of like little garden, so it's like, oh, did they go like the same direction? But like, I just thought that was a cute little touch. But yeah, like he's telling him all about when he hunts this wild boar and then he cooked its meat and ate it, and like Garp is like weirdly into this.
Yeah.
God.
It's just a very ridiculous conversation, and there is no way to frame this that is like any less weird.
Yeah. I think that the most you could do is, put those Yowie goggles on and you're good to go.
Yeah, put the Yowie goggles on. You see them? They're right in front of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to
put those on.
Pick them up and just... And they're on. And then you can actually understand this scene. I find that it helps a lot with media comprehension. It's definitely only a good thing.
No, you're 100% correct.
But yeah, then they are interrupted. Like Garp is like, "You're not tricking me, I'm gonna get that information." Wait.
Just really quick, Zeph makes a very, very interesting comment.
He does.
He says that Luffy reminds him of Roger.
This is like weirdly, this seems to get to Garp a lot.
Yeah. To the point where like just out of pure emotion, like Garp almost reveals, like he stops himself like at the last second, but he almost reveals that like Luffy is his grandson. It's like, I'm not gonna let that newbie pirate get skewered by Marines.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's very like, I think also going to be indicative going forward. Obviously won't go into detail there. But I think that like knowing a little bit about what happens definitely informed his performance here, because he is very passionate and it's very like distressing for him to think of like, oh, Luffy is the next Gold Roger. Oh my God. Like,
oh no.
Oh no. But very interesting conversation. Then they are interrupted when Kobe and Helmeppo come in and they tell Garp the information that they got out of the bartender.
Yeah. whose
dear
job
Garth,
is totally not in
don't
jeopardy.
ask about why my breath smells like rum. You don't need to know.
Don't worry about that.
I'm surprised that Garp didn't make a comment like, why does your breath smell like that? Anyway, we are, after this, we're back at Nojiko's place, where Usopp is getting some tools ready, some little doodads and doohikis ready for the fight that's most likely coming up soon. And Buggy's just straight up fucking with him.
I love that. That's so funny. Considering, like, he also, like, knows his explosives. And, like, he knows it'll fuck with him. But he's not helping. He's not being useful in any way.
Nope. Classic Buggy.
Typical.
Yeah, and then starts talking about how, like, Arlong is gonna, like, kill all their crewmates and like, bite the shit out of them, in his own words.
Yep.
And you know, like, all that talk is scaring the host away.
Buggy's scaring the hose.
You're scaring the host. Like Nojiko doesn't care to hear that, so she leaves, and Sanji gets upset because she walked away, so he, like, stuffs, like, a tangerine in his mouth.
Yeah, I love that. The only way to deal with him is by gagging him. So true.
Buggy.
But see, everything leads to like the bigger picture, because if Nojiko hadn't walked away when she did, she wouldn't have caught Nami digging up Belmir's grave.
Or next to it.
Oh, that's true. Next to it. That's true. Yeah. But she thinks, I mean, from the angle that she was looking at,
I mean,
her,
like, she can't see that well in the dark. She just sees,
because
like, orange hair and then digging near, like, their mother's grave. That has to be distressing.
yeah.
Which, also, Nami, not a smart place to bury your treasure. It's so obvious.
Yeah. It's like, oh wow, I wonder where it could be. Is this freshly dug pile of dirt next to the very old grave?
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Gee, whose stuff could be here?
Yeah, don't think about it too hard. So, and obviously Nojiko gets pissed because she thinks she's desecrating their mother's grave, and she tries to hit her with a shovel.
Which, hilarious.
It's pretty good, honestly. Like, yeah, go Nojiko.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if I thought that was happening, absolutely.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, though. She does not manage to land the hit.
And she hits the chest that Nami had dug up, that contains all her money, and she sees all the money spill out, and she's like, Nami, what is this? So, you know, Nami is forced to, you know, explain her side of things. I joined Arlong so that I could buy the freedom of the village and everybody else and everyone else in it.
Yep.
So that's,
and, like,
so that's
we get our little flashback of exactly that. It's a kind of a short scene, but it's still really impactful. This little kid just marching up like, I want to do something. Like, you killed my mom, so I'm gonna join you. Like, oh,
look, I can draw maps good. Look at this.
Poor kid. Like, you can tell how messed up she is, and it's just like, oh, I have so much empathy for her. Oh.
Yeah.
Just, like, it also kind of shows, like, how she cares for people, like, later on in life, too. Like, she cares for people more than herself, and she always has and always will, and it's like, ugh. I love Nami.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she comes across as, like, greedy sometimes, but, like, not for her, not truly for her friends. For her friends, she doesn't care what the price is. She will pay it.
Yeah. So, you know, so now that Nojiko understands what was Nami's motive and the explanation for her actions all these years, you know, they finally make up and they're sisters again. But right then and there, fucking Nesumi shows up with his little marines, and they're like, "Oh, what's this? Money stolen by a pirate? I'm gonna have to confiscate that."
And then they apprehend it. They push Nami down. She's not able to do anything. Like,
they put handcuffs on the money. You're coming with us.
You're under arrest. You have a right to remain silent.
It's not talking. It's hiding something.
I'm gonna lock you away in my bank account. But yeah. So they take all of Nami's money that she took. I don't know how many years to, like 7 or 8 years to gather.
I think it's like
Something
7,
like
yeah.
And Nami tries to like run back to Arlong to like tell on Nezumi, but then like halfway back to Arlong Park, she realizes no, it was Arlong who set me up. Because they were gonna renegotiate the deal with Nezumi and money and all that shit. And obviously Arlong doesn't want her to leave.
He's like, nope, you're mine, not gonna give you up, etc. Joke here anyway.
And while all of this is going down, Nami collapses on the road, like is crying her heart out. Arlong is like back at Arlong Park and giving like a speech. It's finally time for the fishmen to rise up. Their time has come. It's time to set the plan in motion.
Yeah, you have nothing to lose but your chains.
Yeah. Which in any other given circumstance, I would be like, I'm all
absolutely.
about it. That sounds awesome, but not in this case.
Not in this case.
No. Not in this case.
This is their we can just take over the entirety of this ocean because everyone else is weak. Yay!
Yeah.
Everyone sucks but us.
Exactly, that's what it is. Arlong pirates, everyone sucks but us.
That's actually their creed that's never talked about. Like they have it. It's like right underneath their tattoo. You just can't see it.
It's the fine print.
It's really small.
Yeah. So Nami's feeling, helpless and frustrated and angry, and just so many emotions are swirling through her head at this time, and she just like takes a knife and like starts stabbing the tattoo that she has on her shoulder with the tattoo that everyone in Arlong's crew gets.
Yeah, just out of just pure like frustration and anger and just like feeling so helpless in the face of it all. And then there's this permanent mark on her that Arlong has placed, and she wants it gone. She just wants it gone right now. She doesn't care how. And like this is like the scene, right? Like this is the scene.
I have it in my notes as that. Is that scene.
I mean, they did it pretty, like, it's like 1-to-1 to the manga.
Yeah.
It had to be.
Yeah.
For this scene specifically.
I think some of the dialogue translates a little weird.
It does,
but I'm glad that they kept it as is, because, it was for One Piece fans. It was absolutely for One Piece fans. I'm glad that they did it.
And it doesn't feel like in some instances when you have like remakes and stuff and they keep things like, oh, it's just like the other thing, it feels like masturbatory. It didn't feel like that. It felt true to the source material. It felt like it was like paying homage to it and building 100%. Off of it.
God, and like not to discount like Nami's performance in this, but Inyaki's performance in particular, like every single time I've rewatched this episode, I've gotten chills.
Yeah.
Like from his performance in particular.
Really quick though, we keep talking about how good it is, but what happens really quick?
Right.
Yeah.
So while she is stabbing, hand comes out of nowhere, stops her hand before she can stab it down. And Nami doesn't know what's going on. She's in the midst of this like fugue state of anger and grief and sadness, and she just looks up and it's Luffy. Of course it's Luffy. Like, and he's just standing there stone faced. He is just eerily calm, right? And she is initially very angry that, like, I told you to leave. Why aren't you leaving? Like, and he's like, no. And he's very calm. He doesn't give her anything to build up or get angry about, really. Just stops her from hurting herself. And just the way that they communicate, he is only waiting to hear her say help, right? And of course, after all the anger comes out, after all of this, like, leave, get out, and she tries to get him to go, but he's not listening to her because she doesn't mean it. Which is emphasized a lot in the source material down the road. So I'm really glad, like this is one of the first times that we really get that sense, like, he can understand, like, when you don't mean what you say. And eventually she does say, help me. And that is the line. But yeah, of course, that's what he says. He immediately agrees, and that's all he needed to hear.
Yeah.
Luffy means what he says, like, in any instance.
Yeah. And he gives her his hat, which is like, that's his treasure. That's what nobody's allowed to touch, but that is on her head because she needs it right now. Like, it's just the fury in Inyaki's expression. Like, he is ready to completely raise this place to the ground if Nami needs it, right?
Yeah.
Like, not that she would ask for that
help.
Specifically, but Arlong Park, absolutely. Like, he doesn't care.
Also, like, giving her his hat because, like, that's his biggest comfort, and, like, you know, even if it's not Nami's biggest comfort, she understands how important it is to him, and, like, how important she is to Luffy now. Yeah,
and, like, she finally has people to fight, not, like, necessarily for her, and yes, they are fighting for her, but, like, these are friends that want her with them so badly that they're willing to do whatever it takes. And that is just the demonstration of friendship that she has never had before. And it has to be overwhelming, right? Like, there's a reason that this scene connects with so many people. This is the scene that everyone is like, just get to Arlong Park, you'll understand. Like, this is, I think they just did it so perfect.
They really did. Like, it was, you know, it's a scene, again, that could be scary if you're a One Piece fan. Like, I don't know how they're gonna do it, and they did it perfectly.
Yeah, they tackled it
exactly the same.
Yeah, it was just so well executed. I mean, it was shot for shot at some points with the manga. And I feel like that love and attention really came across to the viewer. So even if you don't know the source material, you can tell this is important.
Yeah. Which Connor's dad watched One Piece live action with no prior, like, you know, doesn't know anything about One Piece, doesn't even really watch anime at all, nothing like that. And he felt it. Like, he loved the whole thing, but especially in that scene, like, we were talking about, and he's like, that was incredible. Like, it, you know, you could really feel how much they care for each other and how intense those feelings were.
Yeah, because the only reason, like, Luffy stays, even though she's, like, begging him to leave, she's yelling at him, throwing dirt at him at one point, and he doesn't move. He just holds her arm, and he stands there, and he waits. And of course, it's so poetic. I can't. It means a lot to me, and I'm really glad that they did it such justice.
Agreed.
But he says, of course, he'll help, and it cuts back to the other guys, and they are ready to go.
It's so good. It's such a fucking good shot.
It's such a good
so
shot.
Good.
Like, Sanji just smoking, like, ready to, like, get into action. Like,
yeah.
I love that shot. They knew what was coming, and then they were just like, yeah, right, let's go.
Even Usopp, like, with how terrified he was the entire time, he was like, no, I'll do it. Like, this is important.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, obviously, he's scared as hell, but he's still willing to do it.
So good.
But then it just, we fade out on the shot of them walking towards their village on fire. And that's it.
Yeah.
Man, fucking love One Piece, guys.
Literally just thinking of like, fuck, I love One Piece.
I love One Piece.
One Peak.
One Peak.
One Peak.
True.
God.
Another great episode.
Another great episode. Like, it's just... Man. Like, every time I just think too hard about, like, everything that went into this, I just come away with, I'm so thankful that it exists. Like, it's brought a lot of people around to the series as a whole. And I just, this is one of the reasons why. It's just, they tackle these things so well.
Yeah.
One Piece is like, it's definitely, you know, it's hard to get through in the beginning. It is, but those moments that hit really, really hit.
Yeah. It's worth that. Like, the momentum definitely takes a while to build up. But once it does, you are just, you're with
in it. Yeah. That's exactly how it was for me, too. Once that I got to Arlong Park, I was like, oh, shit, no, this might be it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Arlong Park was the one that made me want to keep going.
Yes.
But, you know, I have other arcs that, like, really, really got me. But Arlong Park, like, it was like, no, I need to keep going with this. This is going somewhere really good.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. It's a demonstration of what I like to call, like, the One Piece effect, right? It takes a while. It's like when you make a domino picture, right? And you just keep saying these little dominoes, and alone they don't mean anything. Like, they're just, okay, this information. Okay, there's more information, and it just keeps building up. And then you get to the end, and you're like, oh, we're going to knock them down, though. Oh, we're gonna knock them down, though, and it's going to be great. And you just kind of wait, and then it does. And then every time, you're like, yeah!
I knew that One Piece Netflix had... Netflix, whatever, live action had really popped off when like I obviously watched it all like over a weekend, and then like the following Monday I had to go to like the place where my partner's dad works because he's a mechanic. And there was like this dude bro looking guy. Oh, I was wearing a One Piece shirt, by the way. He saw my shirt. He was like, oh, hey, did you watch the live action? Just imagine like the most dude bro looking guy that you can imagine. He saw me wearing a One Piece shirt and came up to me and asked me if I watched the live action.
Yeah.
Damn.
Just an everyday guy, and he knows about One Piece. It's like, that's it, we won. This is it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a great series.
It.
I love One Piece. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. It was so interesting to hear about your professional opinion of all these prosthetics and the makeup used. Like that was so fascinating.
Thank you, baby. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for inviting me. I have been talking Connor's ear off about how good the prosthetics and wigs and everything in the show are. So I'm glad that I can talk to other people about it as well.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was so cool to hear about it, especially like with your experience and stuff. Like it just made it so much more interesting. So thank you so much.
Of course. I love talking about makeup.
I would hope you do. Otherwise, it would be kind of a boring career, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, and remember, dear listeners, you can always check out the video description if you want to follow Bailey on social media or any of us on social media.
Yeah. If anyone is interested, I just had 2 movies I worked on come out.
Oh!
Holy shit.
Look at you!
So...
can you say what they are?
Yeah, so I have Kill Her, which came out as like a Halloween, I wouldn't say it's horror, it's more thriller, which is on Amazon Prime. And then I did a Christmas film. It's more of a kid's Christmas film, but it's fun. That came out end of November on Tubi called The Family Ornaments.
Ooh.
So, that's so exciting. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you've been enjoying this podcast, tell your friends, like, comment, subscribe, and if you like Let's Plays, maybe check out the other videos that we have on the channel.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then we're gonna move on to the the very last episode.
I can't believe we're on the last episode already. It's
yes,
crazy.
stay tuned for that, dear listeners.
Yay! I can't wait.
Until next time, bye.
Bye.
Bye.